the edge of a cliff, realize there must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand, from here and sin. Burning tonight. I run away.
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing today? Well, for today's VR topic, the one about reasons of why to invest in the VR headset. And I'm going to go through several reasons, but the first one is how you can save money in the long run. As a person who is a VR enthusiast, there are those who ask me why they should get into VR and why should they invest in the VR headset. And I figured I can start a series on this. For me, I see virtual reality as a way to fulfill a lot of things in one's life for those 2 hours or more. Some may call it an escape, but in this day and age where frustrations and stress can easily be a drain on one's life, for those who want to escape reality, VR is a place where you can be what you want, do what you want, and experience a different life than what you have in reality. Is it a replacement for the real thing? Of course not. But for some people who are financially strapped, live far from an area where an event is taking place, or are not in the best mental or healthy position in their life right now to take part in such things, then VR is the way to go. The financial benefits of VR can also lead to diverting money towards other things in your life. Maybe saving up for a vehicle, going to groceries, investing, travel, or just paying the bills. You know, it really helps, because I think a lot of people get into the doldrums of, paying for things. May it be expensive video games, gym memberships. And you hear it often where people say, I got a backlog of video games I have not gotten a chance to play, or I have a gym membership but I have not been going to the gym all that much. So it does happen. But I must, preface that VR fills in certain needs in one's life for a few hours, but by no means should it replace reality. Some may want to escape reality to VR to get away, and that's perfectly fine. But there are a few who prefer to put most of living their life in VR versus reality by a lot, and that can be a little dangerous and also make your life kind of unfit, so be careful of that. No matter how life brings you down from time to time, you need to take on those challenges. May it be attending school, going to work, and being responsible, paying your bills, and taking care of yourself or your family. VR is giving people a new perspective of life that they couldn't get from their reality. For example, there are those who have never traveled internationally or are not familiar with other cultures. So in a way, there are people who tend to be geographic centric. For example, if you live in the U.S., you think everything around you should be like the U.S. And I think going into VR, it's almost a life check, because it changes your perspective of life, because you'll meet people from other countries with a different perspective than you, and you start to realize, how you feel in life and what you think about how things are, may not apply to everyone or everything. And of course that's logical. But when you get to VR, I think a lot of people start to meet people from different cultures, from different countries, and just start to realize, VR is totally different than what it is in reality. Going out, going to work, or going to school, and talking to people from the same area. With VR, you're going to meet a lot of people from different backgrounds, Some cool, some crazy, some not so cool. Just like life. But it's VR. So I'm going to talk about how investing in the VR headset can save people money in the long run. So the first thing, the games are much cheaper on VR than a console game. You can purchase a great game for under $30 on VR, even under 20. It has multiplayer capability and cool graphics and awesome gameplay. And there are occasional sales that make these games even cheaper. There's also no cost to play online, so another reason to go VR, there's no monthly subscription unless you participate in workouts or certain education apps that have live trainers, but you can participate in an online game with family, friends, or others around the world at no cost, with the exception of buying the headset. But yeah, there is no monthly costs similar to other consoles. I think that's a major plus for a lot of people. And another one is, do you want to see a live concert or a live sporting event or even a live event? The fact is that free VR apps such as Venues and AltSpace VR can allow people to participate in an event with many people without being at a live venue. Venues have live concerts on VR for free, right in the front row. No worries of spending money on parking or expensive tickets to be front row. I think that's, for example, the Billie Eilish concert. I thought that it was a major significant event where you have a live event happening in New York and people got to experience that live. I'm sure it cost Facebook VR a lot of money just to do something like that, but the fact that people got to experience that, that was a pretty interesting experience right there. Yesterday was a DC event where a lot of people who are fans of DC Comics or the television or movies got to hang out and talk about DC, and I thought that was pretty cool. And of course there's like fighting events, there's movies that people can take part of, and I think that's also very cool. Save money in playing sports in VR. Okay. Instead of going to the driving range or the golf course, you can save money by playing, golf apps. I save money by playing Golf 5e Club or Top Golf. I get my fix. I'm good with that. Previously, prior to the, not prior to the pandemic, but during the pandemic, I was playing golf in my backyard. I have the nets and everything, and I'm just like, this is, if this is all you can do, then it's all you can do. But I think, I kind of got accustomed to saving money, and I think with playing golf on VR, it's allowed me to divert that money towards financial investments. So I'm pretty cool with that. If anything, I'm always surprised of how, especially in golf, how my real life swings is also mimicked on this golf video game. So it's not just limited to golf. You can also do bowling, forever bowling. I don't bowl that much, but I have bowled during my college years and going out with friends, and the fact you can do that on VR, different settings, and also different type of bowling balls that have different types of unique abilities, I guess you could say. I thought that was pretty cool. And you could compete with people online. So another one, table tennis. On 11 table tennis, you can spend people, compete against people from all over the world, competitive as well. So I think if people love the competitive aspect and also playing with others around the world for free, that's another plus. If instead of spending money on the batting cage and you want to hit baseballs, I can just play MLB Home Run Derby. I'm cool with that. And these are just a few examples. If you want to play with friends or other people, you can win these games and communicate, and it's just fun. It's again, you can save money by doing this. Again, it doesn't beat the real thing. It doesn't beat the real thing at all. But the fact is that if if you can save money, hey, I'm all for it. Of course, there is poker and blackjack games like Poker VR, All Stars, I think it's called. It's a really cool game, and they give you, what is it, 10,000, video game money off the bat. But if you run out, then you could purchase more. But I think, if anything, it's just that for those who gamble and have gambling addictions, just be careful for that, because it's one thing to spend video game money, but when you start spending your own money and doing it a lot, it can be problematic. So be careful of that. You can save money working out on VR. Before I go on, I have to say that while one can lose weight in VR, you can also work out at home without VR. Do some push-ups, do some sit-ups. But, with VR, you're not going to work out all your muscles because of the limitations of VR technology at this current time. But if anything, most games are going to give you a good workout on VR because of the full body movement. You're going to sweat a lot. But I think it's a good way to add to your workout, especially during the evening. There are games that I partake in, especially if I want to burn those 250 calories at night. Maybe Player 22 by Rezzle, Racket NX, The Thrill of the Fight, Beat Saber, Synth Riders. I mean, you name it. There's quite a few games that you can participate in and give you a good workout. And thanks to Oculus Move, you can track the amount of calories burnt while playing on VR. And there's the social aspect. There's no doubt that the numbers of people in VR chat, All Space VR, V-Time, is growing. If you're wanting to go to a comedy club, a club event, movie night on VR, you can do that. VR is a great way for people to hang out. So socializing and the ability to do it daily, maybe day or night, this can pretty much, entertain you and also give you that fix of wanting some social interaction, especially during this time where a lot of people are still hesitant to go out. But you can hang out with friends or hang out with people you just met, especially if you're busy at work or school or have a busy family schedule. These social chats give you a chance to break away, meet people you have never met before, and it's also a benefit for those who are socially awkward, have anxiety, or maybe self-conscious, and are able to use VR to chat with others, which they are unable to do in real life, and VR does provide that convenience. The only time it becomes problematic is when one wants to make VR to their reality. You never know what is fact or fiction on VR, and you can chat and meet people. There are those who have found love through VR and married in reality, but there are people who escape to VR. It may be to protect their identity so they can be whatever they want, or they just create their own online persona, and that's their true escape. But just remember, what people say on VR, you never know if it's fact or fiction. So, especially when they talk about themselves or their age. And unfortunately, parents who have bought their children VR devices, especially their young teens, they may not know that their young teens are going out there pretending to be adults. And I've seen unfortunate situations where there's some cringy people out there. Let's say just be careful, because VR is a place where people can socialize, but it's some chat rooms can be very, very cringy, weird, and you got to be careful for those people, especially those who prey on young people. So you may find those who take the I can be whatever I want to be, I don't give a fuck route, but yet take it too far and can be too offensive. So you can tell those type of people by the way they speak and so forth. So there is the dark aspect of VR, but I see more positive than dark. You'll find really good people there to hang out with and talk to. But I do feel that more and more parents need to be aware of when they purchase a kid a VR headset, that there are just way too many kids trying to participate in events that are geared towards adults. And last, if you don't mind your real life combining to your VR life, that's on you. That's your decision. But I find some people who become drawn into VR's social aspect, a little bit too much. And just remember, and this is important, just because a person's avatar may look attractive and their voice may sound attractive, doesn't mean that they look that way in real life. And what they say could be far from the truth. So be careful for that. Another thing where you can save money is you can travel to another country through VR when you can't right now. VR gives a way for people to travel to distant countries, maybe through Wander, Alcove, National Geographic. Of course, by no means does 360 video in 4K or 8K or 360 static images replace the ability of experiencing the real thing. But considering how the world is today, these apps can give you a sense of travel, maybe due to financial health or family, education, or work obligations that prevent you from traveling. These apps make you feel like you've traveled, and you can join others online through these apps and you have good conversations, especially those who are willing to give you a tour of places they visited. And if you are a person who has wanderlust, that is, who love traveling, I found apps like Wander awesome to visit cities in another country that I usually tend to visit prior to the pandemic. And also it's pretty cool when you can visit these areas and check out if the businesses are still around. Since, let's say, Wander uses the Google Street Maps, and certain metropolitan cities tend to get updated yearly, you can select different years and see how things have changed, since you last went on the trip to how things are today. And also, if you lived in your hometown, sometimes you might find a home that is no longer there. If you go back a few years and you can see your old home, I think that's good for people who like to reminisce and be nostalgic. So I think that's another positive aspect. Another way that people can save money is you can learn through VR. Want to learn about another country's culture? Want to learn another language? Want to learn how to DJ? There are a lot of ways to learn on VR. And there's also, especially in alt space, meetings that people can participate in. Maybe to investing, technology, wellness. There's so much out there that you can participate in. Again, it's free, and there's many events always happening, day and evening. So, yeah, you can do that with watching it on YouTube, but if you want that social aspect of hearing people talk, and you can ask questions and they can answer your questions, and that social interaction, that's another positive with VR. And again, that's you can get these apps for free: AltSpace, VR, VTime, even VR Chat. So anyway, if you watch the film Ready Player One, there are aspects to that movie that can be applied to your experience in the VR world. I think that scares some people because virtual reality gives people a chance to escape from reality, and some people think that, oh, maybe these people are just doing that because they have shitty lives. But that's not the case. A lot of people like to escape reality. In the past, after a long day of work or a long stressful day, people used to decompress, maybe through eating, maybe through working out, watching a movie. VR is another aspect of it, but it's now more interactive because you come across with people from all over the world. And I think that's it's a very interesting thing because you go into this new VR world and you're able to talk about things in life, and there are people willing to listen. And it doesn't matter where you're from or what your social background is, the color of your skin, where you live. There are people that are out there that are really good people that want to have good conversations, and people who want to sit down, play some, games, maybe bowling, golf, whatever. So I think that that the social interaction is what makes VR so awesome. So I know there are things going around the world in your country or your local city or town, and even at home, that we should be mindful about, things that affect people's lives, and people should not forget about those things. That's one thing that I think I emphasize the most about VR, is that once your VR goggles come off, you're back in reality. And just remember to take breaks, which is good for your eyes, by the way. Get lens covers that protect your eyes from blue light. Hydrate, eat, but most importantly, be responsible. If you have a family, if you have kids, those should be your priority, and not to put on the VR glasses just to to avoid those certain parts of reality. If you have to pay the bills, do whatever you have to pay those bills. Have a job, and just do not get stuck in reality and say, I don't want to work because I prefer my life on VR. It's important to have that balance. If you want to enjoy VR, so be it. But just don't forget about your real life responsibilities. Maybe going to school, paying the rent, paying bills, taking care of yourself, cleaning your room. Those things, you should never forget about. And I think there are people I know who kind of go into VR because it's a better life for them, but then they forget their real life responsibilities, and that's a little sad. So there are financial benefits going to VR as long as you can make smart decisions, especially if you gamble. Just remember, just because VR gives you the opportunity to be something else and something different, just don't become a cringy asshole. Okay, everyone, you take care, and I'll see you later.